Hey, it's Ben Zoltak with Bottomless Inkwell, and I'm making progress on this Nanabazoo Wendigo story painting, or at least it's unfolding into that story. It started out from a dream that I had about this creature, which I'm going to just start working here, which somebody randomly somewhere had thrown out the idea of it being a Wendigo, and I liked that idea because I was introduced to it. One of the nearby towns was actually the town of Stoughton. It was a nice place named after that, and so I had a startling dream, and it's fun to paint from dreams because, I mean, especially if it's a powerful dream, and that's what this was. Also, I recently entered an international art competition, the Luxembourg Art Prize for the Luxembourg Art Museum, and I didn't include Rabbett Before Horses Strickland, and Wisconsin Ojibwe painter, and I wish I had, because I did get to see at least one of his works in Madison, and it's pretty amazing. Definitely had an effect on how I view artwork, how I see artwork, and especially in the context of indigenous people here in the Americas and their traditions and their stories. And I've always been fascinated with those two. But he was certainly an amazing painter, and I'm happy that lucky, I'm thankful that I was able to see his artwork, and I'm hoping I can see more. So what's interesting to me is the story of the Wendigo was originally kind of introduced to me as sort of a not, kind of a mischief maker, but not necessarily some terrible force. But then when I read some of the Ojibwe Annishanabeg stories, it's a sort of an ongoing battle between Wendigo and Nanabazoo, who's the spirit who protects the Ojibwe people. And of course, if you know, if you pay attention to the news and current times, there's the Ojibwe people are trying to protect their land still. They're still and ours, and our water, and our land, because they're driving a pipeline through that area. And I've always, and this oil, this is from oil, fracking oil that comes in from Canada. And one of the pipelines runs right nearby my place here. Another one runs right nearby my family's land in Vilas County. And so there's an ongoing battle going on right now about where to run this line. And the last I read, near Superior, the I can't remember the specific people, some Anishinaabe Ojibwe people. It sounds like they have been able to have them work around their immediate area, but it will still run, of course, somewhere. And so my family may have some connection there, but if we do, as somebody has pointed out to me, I am fully assimilated. I've been lucky enough to meet a few Anishinaabe people, and they've been kind enough to share with me some of their stories. But I would be taken away from who they are, I think, if I were to claim, that kind of closeness. But with that being said, I feel like there's a reason I had that dream and a reason I'm here talking to you now. And I know that, and forgive me, I don't remember the details of the story, but I do know that there are stories of a great black snake meandering through the Manumin area, where the food grows on top of the water, where there's wild rice that feeds the Annishanabeg and Ojibwe people, and it's a menace. And so I'm drawing upon that dream because it was exceptionally real. I mean, it wasn't some story kind of a dream. It was grabbing me by the short hairs. I woke up in a sweat, and it took me long. I still haven't forgot it. And so just to explain this, originally I thought I'm going to do, and I may do more of these, but originally it was coming up with a completely different idea, and this was someone else. And then, of course, now the story is kind of wrapped back around towards me again. And so I'm not claiming this is me. I'm just a general story of, this image of Nanabazoo, affecting someone. And what's interesting to me is there's some sort of connection with cell phones and devices and electricity, because the dream was as though it was a lightning creature, some kind of electric being, and it was, basically interfering or doing something to my brain. and I'm not really, it's hard to admit that or to talk about it, because it's kind of wild. So, but I had it, and here we are. And I'm so happy that I'm finally getting one of these paintings closer to fruition, because this is a few months ago, and I've made sketches, and I've worked on a few vignette paintings of it. But now seeing it here in front of me, it just makes more sense. And so I've included these cell phones, the human figure here, and being affected by this Windiigo. And Nanabazoo comes and goes through Native American culture stories, and comes to help the Ojibwe, the Annishanabeg. And beyond that, I think that trying to think of the words to express it. I think that there's something going on. There's something going on there. I was listening to some scientists tonight talk about how it's a typical, there's a dualistic way to look at the brain and how it works, and a materialistic way, and that's the traditional way with Western science and medicine, and a lot of things besides even medicine, but always a materialistic look, like as though the brain is a box, compartmentalized, and where am I going here? And it's not, and everything is, wrapped inside that box, that your skull, your brain. But this particular scientist, and I can't remember his name right now, was saying that his research shows that just like the Earth has a magnetic field and other planets, so so does our mind. And so not only do we affect things just by thinking about them and looking according to his research, but also that things affect us. And animals have this same thing too. And so it's fascinating to me, and I'm not saying I'm a conduit for some sort of spiritual battle, but maybe we all are, and maybe I am. And here I am painting it to not lose that expression. If there was, nobody knows. we don't know for sure. A lot of people will tell you we do, and we have some amazing things. We've discovered some amazing things, but we certainly don't know everything about everything. So, and I'm fascinated by that idea that there's an electrical connection with our brain, and that it is affected by our environment. And then also, I think it's important for me to say and to honor those water protectors, those people that while we're enjoying clean water, there are people that are risking their health and risking a lot to stand up for something that a lot of us take for granted. So I don't want to make this video too long, because I made one kind of long the other day, and boy, didn't have a lot of, well, actually it was today. So I was trying to upload it today and it wouldn't work, and I think I broke the internet because Facebook and Instagram went down. So sorry about that, everybody. But this message needed to be expressed, and so here I am doing it. And so last thing I am going to say though here is I'm putting this element as water and sky, when water and air is blue, and of course it's a fantastic complement to the orange yellow that's been worked through there. And lastly, I'll just switch. I'm going to, just to show the effect for a second, I do like to use a knife or palette knife. Not always, but it's a great tool occasionally, and in this one it makes sense. Because that being, or Windiigo, was, in the dream, it was a very electric, shocking kind of thing, and it's coming after my brain. So, pretty interesting, and it's made me think twice about sleeping in the same room with my smartphone. I don't think it's radioactive, so in and of itself that's not great. You shouldn't have that. But I'm going to work a little bit more on it here, but I can't. The video will be too long. So anyway, this is Ben Zoltak. Thanks for joining me. Hit the like button if you haven't. Subscribe if you haven't. Helps the algorithm so that I can maybe get this YouTube channel jump started a little better. And I'm so thankful for the almost 60 people who now subscribe to my channel. And it's great to have an audience for my artwork. It's really, it's a good feeling, I like it. Not everybody wants that, but I want that. So making artwork's important to me. It's a big part of who I am. It's it's my passion, and it allows me to be my best self. It's really the truth of it. It allows me to be expressive and to live out, to literally and figuratively live out my dreams. So I'm really thankful for painting. I'm really thankful for Ojibwe Anishinaabe History Stories and Rabbett Before Horses too, for bringing me a little closer to that, and for their generosity in sharing those stories with all of us.